all of Black people and all the friends of Black people. The next award is going to be presented to another fantastic home girl, can I say that? Home girl? California lady. And I would like to introduce the next person receiving the award, which is Gloria Gray. And before she comes up, I'm going to introduce a counterpart of hers, which is someone way back in Africa who is also doing a lot of work to help the community and working in the government. I would like to note that we don't give awards on political basis. If the person happens to be a government worker or a politician, it's actually based on what they have done for the community, not on their political affiliation. So I would like to call on Honorable Philip Shaibu. Please give him a round of applause. He is with the Edo State government, and I'm sure he has an idea what Gloria Gray is going through here in Los Angeles. So he will first give us a few words, and then we will call Ms. Gray up for her award.
Thank you very much. Well, I want to observe our protocol. Excellency Aja Abiba Abubakar and the Akpakpa Vigi of the universe, and all the sons and ladies and gentlemen, I want to observe our protocol. When I say Akpakpa Vigi, I'm sure many of us can't say that. Well, I was going through the brochure and I saw Gloria Gray, and I was sharing with Stella. I said, we are doing similar thing at home. And for Gloria, she assisted the mayor, but down in Nigeria, we are assisting the governor of Edo State. Some of us from Nigeria that know Edo State in the past, we know that the Edo State that we are having now is similar to what Gloria Gray did with the mayor, especially in the area of water development and community health, and also generation of revenue. I saw that she assisted to build industries which generated employment, through which business activities that grow in Los Angeles increased the taxes, I think, to about 40 million US dollars. And down home, when the administration that is on presently started in Edo State, it was difficult for the people of Edo State to raise money, was an issue. But we did similar thing in Edo State. Today, from 350 million that we met in the treasury, we can raise up to 2 billion in Edo State now from internally generated fund. And I also saw that she assisted also in generating employment. I think about 90,000 I saw there. We have been able to, the one we have record, we've been able to generate up to 25,000 jobs in a very short period. And more jobs are being created at home. And for me, as a legislator, there's something we call constituency project. But before we came in, it was like, it was on the document, but not on ground. Today, I can boast of having 26 brand new, not renovated projects, 18 out of which are rebuilding of our schools, and 2 out of it, the water development, and 1 a rebuilding of a ultra-modern village market to turn to an ultra-modern market. So in all, from 0 level, we now have 26 brand new projects in my own constituency in Edo State. We have 24 constituencies in Edo State, and we've been able from 0 developed up to 26 projects. So when I read through, I appreciated her seriously because I think she had done well. And this award, I want to thank the African Global Legacy Award for deeming it fit. And I'm happy that it's not out of affiliation to any political party or as a politician, but from physical projects that have records. So congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. And first, let me thank the young man for the work that you do on behalf of your community, and thank you for the introduction. And I want to thank everyone for being here tonight, and especially to the African Global Alliance Incorporated for having this inaugural African Legacy Award. And I want to thank the founder and president, Stella. Thank you so much for creating this organization and for all the work that you do. Again, you know, my name is Gloria Gray, and I say that because what I'd like to do is to really talk about the fact that I am involved in water. And the fact that I'm recognized for community service is a wonderful thing because I get a chance to really bring to my community, those who don't really think about water, how important it is to do that. And because of the work that this organization does, and you recognize people for exceptional community service, you recognize people for commitment. And one of the things that I read from the president's message, and I really want to say this because I think it's important, it says that she believes that we should live our lives as if we're leaving a legacy behind. And that's what I'd like to think that all of us can do, because we all can do whatever little bit that we can do, we can make a difference in our community. And I'm just happy to be recognized for what I do. You've read my bio. I've done a lot in healthcare. In fact, I was sitting with a young lady next to me because my career is really healthcare. I was an associate hospital administrator in LA County, and I also had served on the school board. But I bring all that up because my work, I look at what I do as work for my community. And now I'm involved in water, and I would hope that because I'm being recognized, and you do know that I'm involved in water, that you know that it's really a critical subject matter that we really should pay attention to. Here in Southern California, you know the governor has called it a drought. It really is a drought, everybody. It really is scarcity as it relates to water. My company, my board that I sit on, is responsible for providing not only a reliable source of water, but a safe source of water. You know, it's so important in other countries that water is such a big issue, you know, because people don't have clean water. And so I really hope that I can encourage you to partner with me to learn more about water. I'd like to expose my community to resources. This young man talked about contracts and jobs. There are jobs in water. There is infrastructure that brings the water to your homes. And so there are major monies and jobs that are part of the infrastructure of water. So I hope that I can partner with you to bring some of the folks to our system to learn about what we do and to be a part of creating some jobs for my community. So thank you again for the recognition. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Next, I'm going to introduce a very important man. He does a lot of work all over the world. He travels, and he does a lot of things trying to save people. And when we talk about African legacy and we talk about humanitarian work, like I said earlier, it's not about black people. So I'm going to call up a gentleman. He's going to talk a little bit about himself, and he's going to introduce our next awardee, who is doing a fabulous job in Africa. I was so excited about his nomination. And like I've told him, he's like a cross between Crocodile Dundee and Indiana Jones. Because he is in such areas that even most Africans will be worried about getting into. And he is working in so many countries. And I know someone who will understand something like that is our patron, Dr. Vincent Ejedawe, who will introduce Mr. Cunningham.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here, and I want to join everybody in congratulating Mrs. Ejedawe on the beautiful job she's done in initiating this great process that we hope will generate more interest as time goes on. My name is Vincent Ejedawe. My business is not to talk about myself today, but rather to use the leveraging of a little bit of the exposure that I have in working for the most capitalized philanthropic organization in the world, which is the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, in which the principles are pretty much what you are all practicing, those who are being recognized today. When individuals can take time to put their fortunes, to put their resources together for the benefit of the needy, then the world is a better place. No one can do it alone by themselves. Bill and Melinda, just like any other individuals, are a couple, a family. They may have the most resources globally, but they are the first to admit that it's not enough to change the world, but they need the support of all the other people. So the point about all of this is that it's very difficult to step out of your own individual needs, vision, concerns, problems, and think of someone else. But the actual fact about this is that those who practice this recognize that they become fulfilled when they are contributing to the betterment of somebody else. Every single one of the awardees knows this. And I think this is a challenge to all of us, and you've given a very lovely challenge to all of us this evening. If you don't have an organization that you are participating in for social benefit, join one. And if you have some resources, start one. Start one or join one. There is no good time. There is no bad time. There is just time. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. Do it, and do it as soon as you can. So it's a pleasure to talk about the next awardee, who comes to mind in a way that we kind of converge in the Gates Foundation initiatives, which touch on the neediest, the poorest of the poor in the world, in health, in agriculture, in infrastructure, in water resources, in financial services for the poor, in education in this country. So it's a pleasure to really have been able to be exposed to Mr. Cunningham, who himself is involved in agriculture. You know, food security is perhaps the number one thing that every single individual in the world needs. If you have food, and then you can be blessed with shelter and good health, then we have equity in being citizens of the world, and we can respect each other. So it's a real great pleasure to ask that Mr. Cunningham come to the...
Please, a round of applause. Okay, before you speak, I think we're going to have some of... We'll go to the edge. Here are some pictures.
This is different water supply projects we were working on. This one happens to be in Benue State at Anion. This is some of our waste management vehicles, which we have done several states and got the Environmental Company of the Year, developing waste management, developing the bins, which are all built in country, employing more people, more jobs locally, making the environment clean, building landfills, properly disposing of the waste. Like I said, we did this in Calabar and Cross River, which was nominated the cleanest city in the year in 2008 and 9. This is when we were doing oil spill cleanups in the riverine area in River State. We came in and we did a lot of cleanup in these devastated areas. As you can see, the oil that was spilled on the ground, we was in the waterways everywhere. I spent several years doing that. This is just a picture of the highest point in the railroad. As we was talking a minute ago, this is a ferry where you cross the river. And this is a livestock trailer in Nigeria. And this is a sprinkler utility vehicle. This is one of the projects we did in Egypt. We turned that farm into this back in the early 80s. This was when I first went to Nigeria for 7 days, and 15 years later, I'm still there. And we went around the whole country visiting farms. I've been in all 36 states of Nigeria. I've been in all 277 local governments in Zamfara. I've been in every local government in Kebbi. I've been in almost every local government in Borno State. This is when we were visiting some of the emirs. And I was there on my birthday one year, and so they built me a birthday cake. This happens to be in Edo State. This is in River State. This is in Bayelsa, where we're down in the swamps. This is in Borno State, up next to the border, near Maiduguri on Lake Chad at Baga. This is in Borno State also, at New Marte. This is when Senator Urema was the governor of Zamfara, visited us in Nebraska. This is just where we had farmers groups, organizations, where we were training the farmers and teaching them and getting their ideas on how to farm and how to encourage farming and what to do, mainly in Zamfara, Kebbi State. This is one of the emirs in Zamfara State. We went around and visited all 277 local governments in Zamfara State, deciding how to develop a farm program for the youth and even the rural farmers. And so this took us several months, and always the kids were always around every village we went to, and we visited the crops, we visited everything. Always pictures of the kids that we're with. These are all farmers that we had different community meetings. We'd measure the wells, help develop farms, help develop water for many of the communities that we worked in. We go to the markets and find out what was marketable, how it was able to work. This is processing rice the manual way. We do lots of training courses. This is some of our training courses that we do, technology intervention into the local people so they can all start doing all this modern technology themselves. We have a lot of well drilling equipment. We put up sprinklers. We do a lot of different crops. This is where we were teaching the farmers how to use irrigation, such things as onions, carrots, all kinds of vegetables. We showed them how to use the irrigation pumps. We showed them how to irrigate and start raising and increasing their way of life. A lot of them, we increased their way of life tremendously just by irrigating 1 hectare of ground. We went through, and we're still doing today, doing lots of teaching and lots of enhancement. And so you can see it's broken up into small paddies, lots of irrigation. Now they're raising 3 crops a year. And that helps the economic of the community and helps their own life. We have our own drill rigs that we do a lot of drilling for water. We do large wells for irrigation, municipalities. Our last project is Bring Our Girls Back. Everybody's heard of that. This is in Borno State. 13 kilometers from Chibok, and we're teaching people how to farm and how to become farmers instead of becoming militants. And it's working. This is one of the farms in Maiduguri. This is what it looks like today. That's another one of the farms in Maiduguri. Like I said, this is all right outside Maiduguri. It's working. The governor is trying to teach the people how to farm instead of how to shoot people. Then here's where we went into a project where we're developing hand wells for all the local community. When the dam broke, they had no water. So we had to start developing hand pumps in order to help them. Then the city, when the dam broke, had no water. We refurbished their tank, drilled 5 boreholes, put in pipelines, and today they're pumping 15,000 liters a minute into the town 24 hours a day. And they haven't had water for 10 years. And this is the governor turning on the valve, running the water into GUOSA.
That is awesome. Please stand up. A round of applause. I mean, this is fabulous. I was amazed when I saw those pictures. You know, we really have to give credit where credit is due. And that is fabulous. Every state he has touched, the people's lives he has touched, and he has his friends and partners from GAME. Please raise your hand. They have been to Africa too, and they're working with him. And also for Franca, raise your hand. Thank you so much. After all that, I don't know if he has anything. What else can he say? So, but say something.
Well, none of this is ever possible without a lot of help. The governors in Zamfara State, the governors in Kebbi State have been tremendous in developing this. And then, like I said, the support from the U.S. side, people like from Rentke Manufacturing and GAME, and the people that have been help supporting me over there, none of this would ever be possible without their help. And even, I want to thank Dr. Akuri. He's the one that kind of behind this thing getting me here. We do a lot of work with the Corporate Council on Africa, and they've been a great organization to work for. And so somehow my name got from them to here, and how I got nominated for this award, I don't know. But somewhere my name came up, and I do want to thank you, and I'll keep doing what I can do the best I can.
Thank you. Okay, so. And Mr. Cunningham, you were nominated by Sonny Bry, Barrister Sonny Bry. Could you please stand up? Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here to introduce our very young ones, the Azonta Fiesta. These are youngsters that have come together to entertain us this evening. So we are blessed to have them. We all, please, would you all join me to welcome the Azonta Fiesta dance group from local Los Angeles.
What else? Over the Pond Betty. I'm here to send a mix. Cafe. What? You know what time it is? Straight up, over the Pond Betty.
freestyle. Mama, mama, mama. Dancers.
The next award is going to one of our lawyers. How many lawyers do we have in the house? So he has shown excellence in his profession. What I really admire in a lot of these professional awards are people who have succeeded despite humble beginnings. Because some of us, we get things handed to us, and maybe our parents were wealthy and they could send us to nice schools and give us all the trainings and all the helps and trimmings. But then you get brilliant minds that persevere, that create themselves, because they're not looking at a father who was a professional, but they create who they are. So that is like a twist. We're always looking for that it in the person. So the next award goes to Mr. Roland Otaru. I am going to call on a colleague of his, Mr. David Yalome, to present the award. Mr. David Oyalome is a California lawyer, so I'm sure he understands what Mr. Otaru does.
Thank you. Well, like you said earlier, this is not about the profession, it's about service. My name is David Yalome, and I'm very privileged to be presenting this award to my learned colleague, senior colleague, Roland Otaru, SAN. SAN means Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Here in California, in the United States, we don't have those titles, because you know our history with titles, right? But in Canada, they call them Queen's Counsel. In Britain, they call them Queen's Counsel. In Nigeria, we call them Senior Advocate of Nigeria. In fact, our people, often my people, happen to have